Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and that means tonight was Monday Night Raw. First night's Monday Night Raw does go. I thought it was a pretty good show. I thought it was a show that didn't answer some questions we had, but then it did build up some things going forward as well, especially the big blockbuster match announced after the main event. Well, yeah, after the main event that was ruined by Seth Rollins. We learned that Seth Rollins at Clash in Paris will be defending the World Heavyweight Championship against, well, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and CM Punk. Now, this is not the match that I thought was going to happen. So many people were telling me, it's going to be a six-man tag. It's going to be a six-man tag. And my whole thing was, no. Punk and LA Knight are not going to get along enough to team at the PLE. They teamed a little bit tonight, but then you saw they were fighting right afterwards. But it's a four-way with Jey instead of Roman, which is very interesting, but they really heavily teased Roman, not Braun Breaker, but Bronson Reed tonight with that video package with Bronson Reed talking about taking the shoes and everything. So I think with everything that we're seeing, Roman is working the show. WWE has confirmed that by putting him on the poster. I think they are waiting to do Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns at a bigger show, and they're going to do Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns in Paris. Bronson Reed beats Roman. Roman leaves to go film Street Fighter in September in Australia. And then we figure out what we do to get Roman on a Survivor Series team, probably against the Vision. But we got Luke here with us. Luke, what do you think of all this that went down tonight on Monday Night Raw?
A very interesting Raw, I will say, and very newsworthy with like the ending with announcing a big match for Clash in Paris. One thing that was surprising to me that didn't really happen tonight. So a lot of stuff I've seen on Twitter was all the We Want Cross tweets, and people keep saying like tonight we're going to hear a bunch of We Want Cross chants. We didn't really hear any of that. I mean, I saw two signs, but like I didn't hear any chants.
I heard zip. But was it just me, or was this kind of a quiet crowd for a lot of the show?
It was a little bit of quiet crowd, so maybe that was why. But like,
yeah, it could have been that it was a quiet crowd, or they weren't mic'd right because of the building. Because sometimes certain buildings can be just hard to mic, so that could have been a thing too. But yeah, I didn't really hear anything of the cross stuff. Like, so apparently, and I missed this, but somebody sent it to me afterwards, and I did see it. When Adam Pearce told Xavier Woods, "You're facing Penta next week," the segment ended, and then Woods goes TikTok. So I don't know what that was supposed to be in reference to. I mean, I know what it's in reference to, but I don't know if it's like, go for it. I don't know if it's for anything.
Me personally, I just feel like it might just be like a tribute to Karrion Kross.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it was meant for anything specific. It was just he said it. So, also, Luke, did you see the new UFC deal that they announced today?
What was it?
So, UFC is moving off of, so you know WWE is going to ESPN starting with next year's Mania, right? With the PLEs.
I saw that WWE stock went down a little bit after that news.
It went up very much so today. So the TKO stock dropped a little bit because what happened was there was some misinformation on the numbers of how much they were getting paid from Peacock, how much they're going to get paid from ESPN, and Wall Street thought it wasn't a big enough jump. And they thought maybe WWE could have got a better deal, which apparently WWE did have somebody that would have offered them more for the PLEs than ESPN, but they thought taking ESPN was better for the long run, perception-wise. Well, with WWE moving, and I talked about this on the Wrestling Wrap-Up today, with WWE moving their PLEs to ESPN, TKO is moving UFC off of ESPN, and all UFC shows are going to Paramount. So they will be on Paramount Plus with a number of the big shows also airing on CBS. They are getting $7.7 billion for a 7-year deal.
Huh.
You want to know the best part about all of it?
What's the best part?
Pay-per-view's dead. All you need is a Paramount Plus subscription, and you can watch every UFC show. You don't have to pay the extra $80 to buy the PLE or the pay-per-view. It's just like Peacock, the WWE Peacock deal was.
I have a Paramount subscription.
So do I, because I have Walmart Plus. So if you have Walmart Plus, you get Paramount Plus for free. Of course, it's the ads version, but it's still, you're not paying anything extra. So you can get now for as low as, I think, what's Paramount Plus prices? That's what I didn't look up earlier, because I don't pay for Paramount Plus. I get it through my Walmart Plus subscription, because that thing, that's a savior when you don't want to go to the store, but you want to do like a full load of groceries. You just have them deliver it to the house. $7.99 is the lowest price you can get. So essentially, you can be watching UFC shows for as low as $7.99 a month. The big shows and the fight nights. There's going to be 13 of their pay-per-view style shows, like the big ones. They're not just calling numbered events. And then there'll be 30 fight night events for as low as $7.99 a month. Yeah.
Interesting.
The TKO stock went up big today. Let's see, what did it close at? When I looked at it last, it was up. There you go. It was up 8.5% when I saw it last. It closed at up 10%. The TKO stock is now sitting at a flush $180 a stock, or a unit, whatever you call it. So yeah, TKO stock sitting at $180 right now, up $16.71 for the day. It's dropped $1 since closing, but it's still up, which is crazy. Yeah, TKO making bank. And TKO also just signed a TV deal for PBR with the CW, which premiered on Saturday. So professional bull riding, there's two versions of professional bull riding. There's regular professional bull riding, which is just your single person events. Then there's professional bull riding teams. And the professional bull riding teams signed a deal with the CW to air all their events on national broadcast television. That's another TV deal that TKO got for one of their properties. I don't know the numbers on that one, but it aired after the NASCAR race on Saturday. And it was not a good, what you would call, debut for them, because the show actually had to start almost an hour late because the NASCAR race went so long. Because they kept having cautions and wrecks. And then there was one wreck that it took them almost 30 minutes just to clear the track because so many cars wrecked in one wreck.
Huh.
Yeah, no, it was a wild race. But, yeah, no, TKO making moves. It's crazy. They're still in debt, though, so. But we'll see. Maybe this one.
Who, TKO?
Yeah, because they went in debt by buying UFC. Endeavor went in debt by buying UFC. Well, technically, it's Endeavor, I think, that is still in debt. I don't know if the debt moved from Endeavor to TKO when they formed TKO or not. Because remember, they got WWE essentially for free. They stole that company from Vince.
How much did they pay for WWE?
Nothing. No money. No money was ever exchanged on the WWE TKO because it was a merger. They just basically told Vince, you're still going to be in charge of this company. Your company is worth $9 billion, but what we're going to do is we're going to merge it into a new company called TKO with the UFC. We'll be the parent company. You'll be the chief board of director guy and go from there. And eventually, a year later, if not even that, Vince was pushed out because of the lawsuit. They kind of stole it. They kind of stole that company from Vince because literally, like go for it.
So Vince didn't make any money off of that company, did he?
Yes and no. He got a lot of stock options. Vince actually still owns 7.8% of TKO because of how much stock he has. He's got no say, but he is the highest, other than Endeavor, who owns 51% of the stock. Vince is the highest sole stock owner, like singular person stock owner. No one has more stock than him as a single person. He has 7.8%, I think, of the TKO stock. So Vince still making bank off that company. He's still got a lot of stock he can sell if he ever needs to. So we'll see how it all goes, but TKO making moves, making big plays and everything. Because I was going to say, the PBR events had been running on WWE's YouTube channel live. But I don't know. I know those were the regular events. I don't know if those were also the team events or not. Because the one thing that they really push hard with their team events is they have like franchise teams, just like any sport, like football, basketball, all that. The teams are franchised out and owned. A lot of them are owned by celebrities as well. So that's their big crux with the team stuff. It's, oh, NASCAR driver Austin Dillon is part owner of the Carolina Cowboys. And then they have like other teams as well. But enough TKO talk. This ain't the wrestling wrap up. We got to get to Monday Night Raw. And I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Or if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out like Esports Gaming Rules did with Twitch bit donation in the live chat. Or you can subscribe to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out by going over to YouTube and hitting that subscribe button. That way you know we post new videos. That way you know we go live. And that way you know we post to the community tab. Also, remember, hit the join button to become a channel member and support that way. As a channel member, you get a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis that you can use in the live chat in the comments section. You get access to our graphics packages, graphics tutorials, and I'm going to start doing some retro watch-alongs on there. I talked about that this morning as well on the Wrestling Wrap-Up, how I don't like doing watch-alongs for new content, live in the moment content, because I'm doing so many different things at once while those newer live shows are going on. But if we're doing old stuff, watch-alongs for retro stuff, then I can be more engaged and focused on what we're watching in the chat. So I think we're going to start doing some of those as well. And also remember, if you're watching on YouTube, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, whoop, wrong button there. And finally, head over the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PWU Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting into that new season of Fortnite, shock and awesome. You want to go all the way to level 100 and get the Green Ranger and the White Ranger. Maybe you want the other Power Rangers. You want red, pink, yellow, black, blue. Well, they're all available right now till August 29th in the shop on Fortnite. Whether you're playing on your PlayStation, your Xbox, your Switch, your phone, your tablet, your computer, your Amazon Fire Stick, you go to the shop and it's going to ask if you have a creator code, and you do. It's right here. It's PW Unlimited, PWU NLIMITED. Put it in, only takes a couple of seconds and doesn't cost you any extra money to support us. But with all of that, we got Monday Night Raw to talk about that did kick off with a little recap of everything that went down last week. Then CM Punk. CM Punk came out and the crowd was hot for CM Punk's entrance. It was the loudest they were for the rest of the night because they kind of seemed dead especially that Becky Maxine match. They just didn't care. Am I wrong? They just didn't care.
No, they did not care.
Bangs says, get the Rangers. Oh, I will, Bangs. I think I will. It's also a better deal if you want the Rangers. If you only want one, it's a better deal to get them all than just one. Because if you get one with the back bling and the pickaxe, you're basically spending the same amount of money as you might as well get them all. So, yeah. Anyways. Actually, let's go to Esports Gaming Rules' bit donations first here. I see what he's talking about. So we can talk about those first because this has to play in with actually what they did open the show with. I forgot about this. They said they were opening the show with breaking news. Naomi has not been medically cleared to compete tonight, and follow WWE's social media channels for more information. They didn't tell us anything else. We don't know anything else on what's going on with Naomi. I'm not going to speculate because I don't know. No one's posted anything. It sounds like no one's getting info on this. And Esports Gaming Rule says, Michael Cole mentioned Cross and Sammy's match. Well, yeah, because they were talking about SummerSlam. Io Sky has so many storylines connected. Naomi injury is confirmed. Well, yes, it's confirmed because WWE was the ones that put that out. That didn't come from a WrestleVotes, a Fightful, a Wrestling Observer, a PW Insider. When we learned that Naomi was not cleared, that came straight from WWE themselves. So that never needed to be confirmed. And then he also says we got a 4-way for Clash in Paris. But yeah, the Naomi thing is very interesting and very weird by the way they did it. They were just like, oh, we got breaking news. We're supposed to have a women's world title match tonight. Naomi's not medically cleared. Follow us on social media for more info. I'm just like, oh, they're not saying anything else? And I'm not going to say what a bunch of people were commenting on our posts on social media and YouTube, because I don't think that's the case, and I don't want to speculate on something that I don't think is the case. So Luke knows what I'm talking about, because I told him about those comments. But it's like, I don't know what's going on with Naomi. And the way they were playing it off, too, like later on, when Stephanie McCure told Io, I wasn't the only one. What did she say? Hold on. She told Io, you're not the only one that was promised a title match, which makes me think that Naomi's injury is something that might keep her out of action through the rest of the month at least. Sounds like that, you know, Stephanie and Naomi is no longer potentially happening at Clash in Paris. And we sit here and wait. We don't know anything. That's the weird thing, is everyone's being so quiet. None of these, you know, Sean Ross Sapp hasn't said anything about it. I don't know if he said anything on his podcast yet that he's doing right now. Dave Meltzer hasn't come out and said anything. PW Insider. And those are the three that you always go to and look, who's got the scoop? Who's got the news? Is it Sean? Is it Mike? Is it Dave? And none of them have posted anything, whether that's on Twitter or their website or their Patreon, their whatever paywall. None of them has posted anything, which is very interesting. Because typically, something that came out 6-7 hours ago, someone would have something by now, normally. Any thoughts on this Naomi injury, Luke?
Apparently, people think she's pregnant.
No, you're just going to say it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's anything serious. I personally don't.
Yeah, I don't want to say it because I don't think that's what it is, and I don't want to speculate. Because the reason I didn't want to speculate is because I didn't want it to end up being like a Carmella situation. If you remember what happened with Carmella, she did get pregnant and then had a miscarriage, and so she had to take some time away, and then she ended up getting pregnant and having a baby. But like, I didn't want it to be something like that. But all they said was not medically cleared. And usually, here's the other thing. Usually, like they did with Gunther, Michael Cole will go and say the big medical term of the injury. Marta Scarpa, copper nose injury, or whatever it is. Remember when they did that with Gunther last week after SummerSlam? They said Gunther is going to be out with a nostril nose injury or whatever. They didn't say anything like that for Naomi. Now that I think about it, and I would think, if we're just saying it now, if she's pregnant, she would have been on the show to announce it and vacate the title. But the fact that they didn't vacate the title and didn't state what the injury is means that either A, they don't think it's a long-term thing, or B, they need more analysis on the injury and she needs to go get tests done or scans or maybe an MRI, an X-ray or something that they just don't know. So, yeah, because the WWE broke the news just short of 3 hours. It was like 5:10 Eastern when they posted that on social media, just a little less than 3 hours before the show came on the air. So we'll see what's going on with Naomi. Nobody knows right now. And a lot of people, like Luke was saying, a lot of people on Twitter and in YouTube comments and stuff think she's pregnant. But I don't. Because I think if she was pregnant, then they would have had her on the show to vacate the belt like they did with Becky. He also says JBL is going to be in commentary with Corey Graves for Lucha Libre AAA Triple Mania 33 because he has history with AAA. Oh, yeah. He's been working down there with goddamn Alberto Del Rio, which is crazy to think. But I think that's going to be a very interesting commentary team of JBL and Corey Graves. The show is this weekend. It starts at, I want to say it's a late show, too. It starts like 9 Eastern, is what they said, live on the WWE YouTube channel. So, hey, more power to him. Corey Graves, I think, is perfect in that role because Corey Graves is somebody that knows more than just the WWE stuff. He's got a brother that's worked in AAA. So if he has questions, he's got a brother he can go to. I think Sam might be injured right now, so I don't know if he is still with AAA or not. But Sam Adonis, Corey Graves' his brother. As far as CM Punk does go, Punk came out and said the fans made it hard for him to stay angry. But he was angry because he should be standing here representing them as the champion. He wasn't, though, because he had a Seth Rollins problem. Rollins was a visionary who couldn't see what was right in front of his face. He was trying to be CM Punk, but failing miserably. Punk climbed to the top of the mountain at SummerSlam and became the champion the first time in 12 years. In this company, at least, you got to say. First time in this company in 12 years. And when Michael Cole said it too, he made sure to state, first time in over a decade CM Punk's held a title in WWE. He said he couldn't help but feel that he let the fans down because he wasn't their champion anymore. However, if he obsessed about becoming champion before, there's nothing that tells him he can't obsess about it and get it done again. And Punk said that he knew to hate the game, not the player. He's cashed in Money in the Bank multiple times before, twice. He said, but boy, I do hate Seth Rollins. Rollins pretended to be Punk and pretended that he was injured so he can cash in when the time was right. You see what Nikki Bella said about Seth's injury today on her podcast with Brie?
What did he say?
Nikki Bella literally was like, Seth fooled us all, to the point where at Evolution, she had a 30-minute conversation where Seth was telling her everything about this knee injury and what the injury was. No, it's the same injury and this is what happened and this is what they think I'm going to be. Like 30 minutes, her and Seth just talked about the knee, she said. Seth was working every fucking person. Wild. Punk then said that he promises to regain the title. Rollins wouldn't have to pretend to be injured because Punk is going to, break both legs. That's when LA Knight came out to a pretty big reaction. The two shook hands, and Knight said Punk was robbed at SummerSlam and deserves a rematch, but before I get my rematch, because you screwed me out of my match. He said, last week you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Knight said that he didn't have a problem with Punk, but would like to keep it that way. Let me do my thing, then you can get your thing afterwards. He said if Punk really wanted Rollins, then he should have done it on his own time, not Knight's time. And then that's when he said again, you can get your rematch, but I'm getting mine first. Well, as we learn later, they're getting theirs at the same time. So Knight recalled Punk saying that there's levels to this stuff, and Punk was not on his level. Knight said that he wanted a favor from Punk. Knight suggested take the title from Rollins first, then Punk could be, he said, I'll take the title from Rollins, then I'll let you have the first crack at it. I'll defend against you first. Punk called himself the best in the world, and they seemed to be just kind of just going back and forth and just, I don't know what was going on here, but according to WrestleVotes, the script was changed late. I don't know exactly what that means. Let me see what they wrote. There was something from WrestleVotes. I don't know if it was regular WrestleVotes or TC. One of them said something about there was late changes to the script. Let me see. They said it was TC. So Raj Giri, formerly of Wrestling Inc., tweeted, this is some great stuff between LA Knight and CM Punk on Raw. Two of the best talkers in the business. Gotta love it. TC then said, it felt clunky, like they were both forgetting the lines because it was a late rewrite. So we'll see. I don't know. Finally, Paul Heyman would come out, said a couple words in French, admitted that all that he actually knew in French, so he stopped speaking French. The crowd started yelling things at him in French, and Michael and Corey Graves were like, yeah, I don't speak French, so I don't know what they're saying. They said that in another match, too. I think the Sammy match. But I think one of them said it in the other match, like, I don't know what they're chanting, I can't speak French. Heyman rambled for a little while until Punk cut him off and invited Braun to come down to the ring. Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. Heyman was on board and agreed. Punk and Knight against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker later tonight. Knight didn't intentionally accept the match, but kind of did. He cut off Punk and said, sure, why not? Knight made it clear that Punk didn't speak for him, but accepted as well. It seemed like the segment was all over. Breaker made his way down the aisle, but he was held back by Reed. Braun told Punk, quote, you're 47. Or, we don't, what are you going to do? You're so old. Between the two of you, you're like 100 years old combined. He's trying to do like Steiner math stuff. But what is LA Knight, 40? It's really like they're 48 or 90 or 88. No, yeah, it would be 87, 88. How old is LA Knight?
LA Knight's 42.
Okay, so together they would be 489. But
And CM Punk is 46.
46, okay. I think, when's his birthday? Is it coming up?
Who's CM Punk?
Yeah.
October 26th.
He's almost 47. That's funny. He's in the aisle and he's yelling, you're 47. What are you going to do? You're both 100 years old combined. I'm like, oh, Lord, he's trying to do Steiner math, which he did that. He added that wrong on purpose, of course. But I'm going to turn this fan on. What did you think of the segment?
I mean, the segment was all right, but I feel like it was mainly just to, like, build up towards like what was happening in the main event.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I thought it went just a smidge too long.
It did.
But moving forward, we got a couple more
go
for it.
So my dad was in the room during that like opening segment. When like CM Punk was walking, I was like, my dad's like, CM Punk, that dude's old.
Mm-hmm. That's funny with the Braun Breaker joke too. Everyone called him old.
Like, that guy's ancient. I didn't think he was still wrestling.
Right. Well, I mean, Punk like
Punk
10
still
years.
has it in him.
Yeah, because he took 10 years off and recuperated. Granted, he did a couple UFC fights and had, trained for that. But really, he had a lot of time, a downtime to just let his body heal, which is great.
I mean, if Punk never took 9 years off and he still wrestled, do you think he would have been retired by now?
That's a tough question because I think no. I think he'd still be. I don't know if he would be on a more limited schedule, but I think he would still be doing something, just like Cena. I think because him and Cena are basically the same age. And so I think he would still be like, if Cena's still wrestling, he'd still be wrestling. But I think he would be more like Miz, where he'd have a very limited schedule. Miz or Roman Reigns.
I forgot about Miz. What is Miz doing? Is he injured or
no?
Is he just taking like a limited schedule?
No. So Miz came back last week on SmackDown, but Miz has been gone because they're rebooting the American Gladiators show, and Miz is the host. So he had to go to, which is funny. They filmed American Gladiators in London. He went to London for a couple months, maybe like a month and a half, and they filmed 2 seasons for Amazon. And he's the actual host of the new American Gladiators, which Wardlow's going to be on, Camille's going to be on, and Jesse Goddard's is also going to be on. So there's a number of pro wrestling tie-ins with the new American Gladiators. So I think we're going to be doing some American Gladiator reviews when that show comes out next year.
Wasn't like WWE unhappy because there was going to be some AEW wrestlers on that show?
I don't know if it was WWE that was unhappy or if it was AEW, but Meltzer had reported something about one side was not happy that there was representation of multiple companies or something like that.
I don't see what the big deal is. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. Esports.
It's not like it's a WWE show or anything,
right? So I don't know exactly. I can go look really fast what it was. American.
I mean, I could see it maybe being Tony Khan being unhappy about it.
It was. Let's see if I can find that news. Let me see. Oh, it was WWE. WWE was upset over AEW talent being featured on a show with one of theirs. WWE reportedly wasn't thrilled that one of their top stars would be front and center on a show that prominently was featuring talent from the rival company. Gotcha. I mean, but here's the thing. It's American Gladiators. No one's going to be using their wrestling name. American Gladiators, you all get gimmick names. So I would assume they're all going to have special names for the American Gladiator show. So it's not like Miz is going to be going, all right, Wardlow, come on, you're next or whatever, however they're going to do it. Also, the former Boogs, Eric Bugenhagen, he's also going to be on the show.
I think he's just doing bodybuilding now.
I think so.
Because he basically said he's done wrestling.
Yep. Just like, did you see Jake Hager announce his retirement, basically?
Yeah, he runs a truck company now. Yep.
In old Tampa. Hey, good for him.
He's like done. He's done doing like MMA and wrestling.
That's what it sounds like. But good for him. He said in his last negotiations with AEW, he felt disrespected by the offer and said, I'm done. Walked away.
Honestly, good for him.
Yeah. Made enough money to go start your own business and do something else. Esports Gaming Rules with a couple bit donations. He says Sammy's starting to have bad luck since he last beat Cross even in Canada. What do you mean he's having bad luck? He beat Cross at SummerSlam. He beat Solo, the United States champion, last week on SmackDown. Like, Sammy's probably in line for that U.S. title. Like, I don't know where you get the bad luck from. He also said today is Hulk Hogan's birthday. Yes, it would have been. And then he said again, today is Hulk Hogan's birthday, and there was a celebration in Tampa. I think they did something at his beach club as well, the restaurant. But moving forward, Dominic Mysterio entered the Judgment Day's clubhouse with El Grande Amerikaiser. Raquel Rodriguez didn't like him being there. Finn Balor pulled Dom aside and reiterated that they don't really want him here. Dom said, oh, it's all cool. We're teaming up tonight. I'm going to fight him in AAA. It's all good, though. Balor's like, all right. He's on board for the night. And then I noticed when everybody dispersed from the scene and you just see the TV with WWE 2K on it, the match that they were going into was Dom and Roxanne against Priest and Rhea. Not Dom and Liv, Dom and Roxanne.
That's funny.
So that's a thing. This then led to the announcers plugging Triple Mania, and they were in a break during this, and so they're like, "Yeah, Corey, Michael Cole's like, Corey, you're gonna be on the English commentary. We're gonna hear about who your commentary partner is gonna be in just a few moments when we come back from break." And then that's when Corey Graves made the announcement. Yes, my partner will be a wrestling god, JBL. John Bradshaw Layfield, which I always thought was a great commentator. I always thought JBL was good on commentary. I always enjoyed his shit talking on commentary. Wait, what did you always think about JBL's commentary?
I mean, it's been a while. I have to look back at it because I know it's been a while since he commentated on WWE television.
Yeah. When was the last time he did? I can go look on Wikipedia. Let's see. JBL's time in WWE. He's another one. He's the same age. Oh, no. Never mind. I thought it said something different. Wikipedia was wrong. Someone fucked up his wiki. No, that was just Google. Never mind. Let's see. The last time he worked for WWE. As far as return to commentary. Really? It's been that long? 2017 was last time he was a full-time on commentary. He's done things here and there since, but it was really like 2017. Damn. Yeah, he came back for his second stint on commentary from 2011 to 2017. He was on Raw in 2014. It was him, Michael Cole, and Jerry Lawler. Huh. Interesting. I thought it was more recent, but I guess not. Okay. But moving forward, we had our first match of the night. It was AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano. Dom kept putting a mask on because, as we saw at the end, he did the old El Grande cheat spot with the loaded mask. Dragon Lee wiped out Americano with a dive before the match and the bell even rang. This gave the baby faces a little bit of an edge. When the heels took over, though, Lee made a hot tag. After a commercial break, the heels did get the advantage. This led to a second break, just about 9 minutes into the match. But if you watch international Netflix, you don't got to worry about breaks. If you're watching on a computer, we've got a video that teaches you how to get a free VPN that you can use on your computer. Then you don't need commercials during matches. Plus, when all this bullshit moves to ESPN for $30 a month, just watch it all on Netflix with a free VPN. I will have multiple bits of content coming out over the next couple of months leading up to next year's Mania when the move does happen. Teach you guys how to get these pay-per-views and PLEs all on Netflix at no extra cost. And no, you don't need to use anybody's coupon code for NordVPN or Surfshark or ExpressVPN. We'll teach you the free ones that work perfectly fine because I use it twice a week. Americano ripped at Lee's mask during a commercial break and kind of exposed a good amount of his face, but then he got it back on before the show came back. When we returned from the break, Lee hit Americano with a double foot stomp. Dom yanked Styles off the apron to prevent a tag, but Styles chased him around the ringside area and then tackled him over the barricade. I think they knocked into a cameraman. Styles made a hot tag and hit Americano with a fireman's carry neckbreaker, but Dom broke up the cover. Lee monkey flipped Dom into a Styles clash, which looked really cool. However, Americano shoved Lee off the top rope, and this fucker went flying off the top rope and landed hard, it looked like. We saw it from like a far shot camera, but like the way he flew off that top rope and just crashed down on the floor. Oh, Damn. What?
This stupid El Grande Americano stuff.
Hey.
I wish it was done.
At least we only got one of them this week instead of 3 like last week.
Who are these other two?
Pete Dunne and Tyler
What
Bate.
Those?
It's Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate.
The other one looked a little taller than Tyler Bate. I thought Tyler Bate was normally pretty short. Which I know he got a haircut not too long ago.
No, because even Corey Graves made the joke of it. He's like, yeah, it's probably easy for you this week, Cole, to only keep track of one of them. But coming down towards the
So what are they going to do? Are they going to unmask all of them? It's like, it's Lubric Kaiser, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate.
All I know is Chad Gable might be fucked.
What do you mean?
The Mexican crowds, when Gable has done anything with AAA, booed out the building. Kaiser went down to Mexico and worked AAA. They cheered him wildly because he learned perfect Spanish and was cutting a Spanish promo and everything. I don't know if that's the actual case or reason, but apparently Mexican fans in Mexico love the Kaiser version of El Grande Americano and hate the Gable version of El Grande Americano.
When's Gable supposed to be back?
I don't know. All he said is he had shoulder surgery, but hasn't given any other news on it. So, did you see him at the baseball game on TV where he was like, yeah, my greatest accomplishment was earlier this year. I had a match at WrestleMania. And then
he basically told people, I'm El Grande Americano.
Corey Graves tried to play that off on Raw a couple weeks ago where he goes, because Michael Cole brought it up and he's like, see, I've been telling everybody Gable's a Grande. And he's like, no, I talked to Master Gable. Master Gable said that he just got confused because it was too hot that day and he was a little dehydrated and wasn't thinking straight. I laughed so hard. Fucking Corey Graves.
Well, yeah, because Pat McAfee, he'll always cover it up, but Pat McAfee's not even doing it anymore.
The heel commentary or the not proper commentary guy is going to be like, no, you're wrong, Cole. It's da-da-da-da. But as far as the finish of this match does go, Americano placed a steel plate under his mask with Styles hidden enziguri, knocking it out of his mask. Dom caught it, put it in his mask. Styles then came off the top, but Dom headbutted him. Americano then caught him in a schoolboy, rolled him up 1, 2, 3. Match went 16 and a half minutes, and the heels pick up the victory. What'd you think? I thought it was fine. Like, it was a good match, nothing special, but it wasn't anything wrong with it either.
I mean, it was fine, nothing really special.
Yeah.
Did Pat McAfee say why he stepped back from WWE?
Yeah, he was just burnt out and he was running too hard. He was just trying to do too much at once, and it was taking such a toll on him. Like, he wasn't sleeping, he wasn't eating right, all that stuff. He's like, I started noticing it, and people in WWE started noticing too, and we had a conversation, and I just needed to take a step back.
So he'll only show up for certain appearances now?
I mean, I assume maybe once football's over, he'll come back. He just wanted to take a big break. Because it's weird. Last week, I don't think they did his show at all last week. Or maybe only one episode. Because I always, at 11 o'clock Central, go and be like, oh, what did I talk about on McAfee? The show's about to start. And all last week, they weren't live on YouTube. I'm going to look. I know they were live today. Because I saw some of the stuff they were talking about with, talking about football from over the weekend. But, I want to say last week, they did maybe one show, if even that. Let me see. Pat McAfee show. Oh, they had Dana White on the show today, talking about the UFC deal. Nice. I need to go back and watch that clip then. But, yeah, so they did today's show. And then the last show before that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. Not only did they not do a show at all last week, they didn't do a show the Friday before. Their last show was Thursday, the 31st of July. Then they took a week and a day off. So I think they're just re-energizing football season because then they're all going to be running hard.
Yeah.
So earlier in the day, Sami Zayn he asked Adam Pearce, hey, you figured anything out for the world title at Clash of Paris? I really want to put my name in the hat. I think I'm really, deserving of a match. Pearce is like, I don't have anything right now. I can't make you any promises, Sammy. But hey, focus on Rusev. You got Rusev tonight. Go beat him, and then we'll see where you land after that. Sheamus then comes in. He's like, you wanted to speak to me, Pierce? He's like, yeah. The shit with you and Rusev needs to stop. And I don't want to see you out there while this match is going on at all. He's like, all right, I understand. I got it. And Sammy's like, yeah, just for me. We're buds. Just stay out of it and let me beat him. Basically is what Sammy asked him. And Sheamus is like, oh, yeah, we're all good. I won't touch Rusev during the match. Basically, he's like, oh, I'll let you do your match, and then I'll go beat his ass. Which is exactly what happened. So Io Sky was talking to Adam Pearce about not getting her title match tonight. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez then showed up and were making fun of her for not getting the title match. Sky and Adam Pearce then agreed, Io came here tonight looking for a fight. I'm about to fight her. And she points at Roxanne Perez. Pearce said, you know what? It's official. And so they did make it official for later in the night. Io Sky versus Roxanne Perez. There was also a graphic highlighting the greatest wrestlers to come from Quebec and the surrounding area. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, the Quebecers, Pat Patterson, Stan Stasiak, Rick Martel, and others. This then led to Sami Zayn versus Rusev, which is a pretty good match. I thought these two worked very well together in the 10-minute match that they got. They took turns posing for the crowd, which is kind of funny at first, and they were getting good reactions and whatnot. Sammy hit an Arabian press to the outside, and the crowd popped big. Rusev then cut him off with a Uranagi. During the break, the crowd yelled obscenities at Rusev, apparently. But again, this is where commentary didn't really know what they were saying. Sami Zayn at one point made a comeback after the break and hit a tornado DDT as the fans arose to their feet and rooted for Zayn. Zayn went for a haluva kick, but Rusev cut him off with a machka kick for a 2. Zayn avoided an accolade and applied a schoolboy, but only got a 2 off of it. Rusev at one point was on the attack, but stalled for a little too long, so Zayn hit him with an exploder in the corner. The camera then zoomed way in for some reason, and Sammy set up for the haluva kick, and so we saw nothing because there was a camera issue. I don't know what the hell happened here. Zayn was then pulled out of the ring by Solo Sikoa and the MFTs to cause the disqualification. Tala Tonga boots Sammy in the face. Officials run down to break it all off. Solo and his group run off as he holds up the U.S. title in the aisle, and there we go. Then Sheamus shows up. Boots Rusev in the face in front of the commentary table. They brawl in the crowd. Some guy, random security guy or whatever, extra, gets thrown over the commentary table. There's all kinds of hoopla going on. And Corey Graves is like, well, you can't contain them again. What are we going to do about these guys? We basically went to a break. What do you think of all this?
A lot happening.
Yeah.
Say that.
So it's possible now that they're continuing this thing with Sammy and Solo. Maybe we see Sammy versus Solo for the U.S. title at Clash in Paris.
I can see it. So is there an update on Tama Tonga? When he's going to be back?
All we knew was in April, he suffered some sort of an injury that needed surgery. No one said anything else.
Because there is that rumor, once he comes back, he'll probably just align himself with Jacob Fatu because Solo said the thing of, this is my family tree. I don't need anybody else.
I don't know, because his other 2 brothers, legit real brothers, are still with Solo. Tonga Loa and Kalatonga.
They could go the route of Tama Tonga's like they never contacted me when I was hurt.
I mean, that's true. I could see that. But at the same time, they're trying to do the thing where Jacob don't need nobody. Yes, he's got Jimmy that sometimes comes and helps, but for the most part, he doesn't need anybody. He could do it on his own, kind of thing. Yet he keeps getting screwed with all the people helping Solo.
Maybe he realized, I need help, so he's got Jimmy and Tama Tonga.
That would make sense, though.
You gotta realize, Tama Tonga's dad and Jacob Fatu's dad, they were both a tag team back in the day.
Yep.
So I think it would be kind of cool to just see them both as a tag team, which I know they were at one point. Then they had Jacob give his tag title to Tongaloa.
Yeah. But the thing with all that, it's I don't think we didn't even see Jacob Fatu on the show last week. I don't think. No, did we? I can't remember if he was on SmackDown or not now. Thinking about it. I can't remember if he showed up on SmackDown. I don't know. But that just shows you SmackDown was an all right show. But yeah, no, I think because no, they didn't, because they would have continued the stuff. Yeah, no, he wasn't. But I thought they would have continued the stuff with him and Solo, but then they started Sammy and Solo. I mean, maybe we end up getting Talatonga, Solo, and Tongaloa or JC Mateo in a 6-man against Jacob, Sammy, and Jimmy, like on a SmackDown upcoming or something. I don't know. But interesting that they're keeping the Sami Zayn thing going. I thought it was just going to be a one-time thing. They were in Montreal, so why not throw Sami Zayn on a show in Montreal and go from there? Yes, he beat the champ, so I'm like, oh, maybe they could do something with it. But when, they showed up tonight, I was kind of surprised. Like, oh, I was not expecting that at all. I thought, if anything, Solo would just address it on SmackDown and be like, oh, Sammy beat me, but that don't mean nothing. So I think they're going to keep this going. And maybe it's a Sammy's moving to SmackDown kind of thing, like LA Knight just came to Raw. So after the break, Adam Pearce and some security guys were yelling at Solo and the MFTs about, there's this one random security guy that had like dreads, and he just keeps yelling, you're not booked for this show. You need to get out before we call the cops because you're not booked for tonight. I'm like, what the hell are you yelling, guy? And Adam Pearce is on the phone with Nick Aldis. He's like, hey, listen here, Nick, why are you doing it? And then like some referee walks up on Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce is like, Nick, I'll call you back. Talk to you later. He's all pissed off. He's like, what? And they're like, we've separated Sheamus and Rusev, sir. And he's like, you sure about that? You told me last week you separated them, and they still kept going. Go double check. I don't think we heard anything else about the two for the rest of the night. Like, Adam Pearce is on one, and I love it. When Adam Pearce gets in that mode, he's so good. He's so good. He then gets approached by Grayson Waller of the New Day. And so Woods looks at him and goes, hey, what are you going to do about Penta? You going to suspend him? You going to fire him? You going to fine him? What are you going to do about Penta? He's like, what do you mean, what am I going to do about Penta? He's like, he took my $12,000 hat, and he almost ruined it. And they tried to decapitate me with it when they threw it at me. They can't stand. And he looks right at Woods, and he goes, you want to do something about it? You want something done about it? How about next week you're going to fight Penta? And Woods is like, what? Fine. And then I guess at the end he says TikTok when the segment basically ends. And he said, actually, Adam Pearce said, you want to do something about him taking your sombrero? And Woods like, it ain't a sombrero. That's a $12,000 hat. I'm like, $12,000? What the fuck? What? You got any thoughts of all this chaos backstage? Like, it's literally just a bunch of chaos.
Karrion Kross tribute where it said TikTok. I mean, it's literally just going to be Penta beaten, like winning his match next week.
Oh, yeah.
Penta's going to win.
It's a good win for Penta. Penta needs a win. He's been in big matches, but not winning them, so I think he needs this win over anybody, really.
And New Day, they're big enough names where if you beat them, it's not really going to affect them that much.
Right.
Or at least it shouldn't.
No. But I wanted to see. I lost the clip. Hold on. I was trying to see if I could find where he said TikTok. I'll play it really fast. Xavier Woods. Let me see. Is it this right here? Hold on. I think I found it.
We were talking about, man.
Oh, so here it is. It might get demonetized for this, whatever. But I'm going to play this really fast. Hopefully you're able to hear. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, though.
I mean, it's fine if I don't.
So let me pull this up. A lot of people, I guess, missed this. But if you listen to Woods here. Play this. Play.
He doesn't even understand. That's not what we were talking about, man. TikTok.
Yeah. So, like, Grayson Waller saying something. Woods or Kofi's like, what is he doing? That's not what we were asking. That's not what we were talking about. And Woods just keeps going, TikTok. So, I don't know if he's teasing Cross coming next week or what, but yeah. Moving forward, there was a video backstage with Bronson Reed just talking crap about Roman Reigns. He said people asked him why he was doing schoolyard bullying of Roman and taking his shoes and stuff. He's like, I'm starting a shoe collection. And until Reigns acknowledges me as the tribal chief, I will keep collecting his shoes. Basically, I think they're setting up Roman and Bronson Reed, not Roman and Braun Breaker. Then this was an interesting.
Should be a good match though. Like,
oh yes,
it really should be a good match.
Yes. Now this was an interesting segment that actually started before the Io Roxanne thing and ended after the Io Roxanne match. So Asuka and Kairi Sane offered to be ringside for Io's match. This guy said that she appreciated it, but says that I've beaten Roxanne before, so I don't need the help. They all kind of embraced. Asuka seemed a little perturbed. Asuka seemed like, oh, well, she doesn't want my help. Kind of mad about it, right? So I'm like, uh-oh, what are we doing here? We got Asuka versus Io coming up. Ooh, boy. But Io did take on Roxanne tonight in a good match. These two always work well together. Sky was in complete control early on and wiped out Perez and Rodriguez with a suicide dive. Where was I? Sky was, it looked like Sky was only supposed to do the dive onto Raquel, but then like Roxanne got in the way or I don't know, but it looked a little weird. Sky at one point did make a comeback after a commercial break, hitting strikes and a drop kick and an enziguri and then another drop kick, and then there was a bullet train and the double knees, and yeah, Sky was in full control, but Perez eventually knocked Sky off the top rope and brought her down with a Hurricane Rana. Perez clocked Sky with a knee drop and got a 2 off of it. The referees were distracted by Rodriguez, so Perez poked Sky in the eye and hit a Shining Wizard for a 2. Perez then hit Sky, or put Sky in a crossface, and Sky eventually did slip out of it and hit a backbreaker for a 2. Sky at one point hit a Acai moonsault to take out both Perez and Raquel. Sky then went for a moonsault in the ring, but Perez got her knees up on it. At least looked like that was the plan. Sky didn't really land fully flush on it, so it was like more knees to the hands, but it worked out in the end. Coming towards the finish of the match, Rodriguez distracted the referee yet again. Asuka and Sane ran down to go after them and help Io because, you know, Roxanne's got Raquel. Raquel keeps getting involved. And Perez escaped. Sky almost hit her friend by mistake. Perez then shoved Sky into Asuka and Sane, rolled her up, and pinned her 1, 2, 3. And then Sky seemed very upset that Asuka and Kairi came down to help. Match went 15.5 minutes. So afterwards, we're in the back, and Io is mad at them. Asuka starts yelling at her and shoves Io and walks off. Kairi then stands there and kind of just looks at her, all kind of confused by everything. And yeah, very interesting. Looks like we're getting that Io and an Asuka match that everyone's been clamoring for. What did you think of all of this?
I think the Io Asuka match should be good. I mean, I know, I can't remember who said it. I think it was Asuka. Asuka said in the past that Damage Control is basically dead.
Oh yeah. No, the Damage Control group is done. It's been done. Basically, when
it's been done since Dakota Kai got released.
Yep, exactly.
What's she gonna do now?
I mean, she's a free agent. She can go do whatever she wants.
I've seen a lot of like, isn't like her boyfriend Eddie Thorpe? Isn't he like a DJ now or going into music?
Oh, I know he appeared somewhere recently, but he's been doing
DJ hair now.
He's been doing DJ stuff for a while.
I remember he like tweeted the reason why he asked for his release because he wanted to do something meaningful in life.
I think it's what it was. Yeah.
I guess he just wanted to do DJing stuff now. Basically, just be done with wrestling.
Well, no, I want to say, let's see, Carl Fredericks. Did he show up? No, it was with a C, I think. I want to say I saw that he showed up somewhere recently. Yeah, he's working. He's challenging Kevin Blackwood. Oh, this was in next month. He's challenging Kevin Blackwood for the West Coast Pro Wrestling main championship on September 5th. So he's still wrestling. And he's from that area. Like he's a California boy, Northern California. So yeah, he's working that show, going for the title. I want to say he was somewhere recently. Yeah, he showed up at their last West Coast Pro Wrestling show to make the challenge to Kevin Blackwood, who's a great wrestler. If no one's seen Kevin Blackwood before, check him out. As far as Dakota goes, I haven't heard anything about Dakota Kai.
She hasn't done any streaming or anything.
Well, I think is she not still doing her podcast with Zelina? I thought I saw them post something recently.
I don't know.
Okay, so here's something. Hold on, let me pull this up. Here's something if we want to talk about what she's doing. Let's see. Go to Carl Fredericks on Instagram. Is it which one's his Instagram? Let me see. Carl, no, not Fredrickson. Carl Fredericks wrestler. Instagram. He posted something with the two of them together, I think. Maybe not. Oh, I don't think that's recent. Well, no, what? What is, hold on, give me 2 seconds to figure out what this is. So there is a guy, I think maybe he is, so he's an artist and a filmmaker. He posted this video. It says former WWE. Let me play this while I talk about it. Boom. There's this video that he made. It says former WWE World Wrestling Entertainment professional wrestler Carl Fredericks, 80 Thorpe, reveals his purpose as a proud... Oh, this is something about his native heritage. That's all this really is. But apparently Dakota Kai does appear in this video with him. Let's see. They're at an aquarium. See, there's Dakota with him in the video. So, yeah. Like, she's only been popping up on stuff like that. But is she still doing... Let's go to Zelina Vega. I swear I saw something from Zelina's
Well, I know
account.
I know she hasn't been Twitch streaming though. That's the thing. So and she hasn't said anything in her Discord.
I want to say she had, maybe it wasn't recent. Maybe it was like just something that popped up on the timeline that was an older clip, maybe. Because now I'm not seeing anything.
I also saw another post that someone made like today. It was like the people that Triple H brought back who were released by Vince McMahon, and then Triple H let it go again.
That was a dumb post.
And it wasn't really Triple H. I think it was more so like TKO. I mean, I think.
Well, I don't know who's making the actual call. Here we go. I found their Instagram. Let's see. When's the last time they posted anything for their podcast? 3 days ago. They were still posting stuff for their podcast. Yeah, so she's still doing her podcast with Zelina. 3 days ago, episode 84 dropped. It's them, and then what's his name? Josh Williams, the WrestleFlow guy or whatever that used to work for WWE.
Josiah Williams.
Josiah Williams, that's it. He's like their he's like their producer / third guy. Like when he first started, he was more just like the producer behind the camera. But when I see clips, they integrate him more and more now. But yeah, she's still doing that podcast.
He does music for a few wrestlers now. Mm-hmm. Like I know he did AR Fox's AEW theme.
Oh, nice.
He did he does a few AEW themes.
That's cool.
I think.
But yeah, they're still doing that podcast regular.
Oh yeah, he did Cedric Alexander's new theme for TNA.
That makes sense. Yep. But as we move on forward here, but yeah, nothing on what she's going to do wrestling wise going forward. Haven't seen or heard anything other than she's still doing this podcast with Zelina and Josiah. But moving forward here on Raw, we had this not that great women's intercontinental title match. Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree. And if you watch this match, this was a idiot-proof match for Maxine. Am I wrong? They simplified this match so much for her. This was not your normal Becky match. This was a, what can Maxine do? And how do we incorporate that into the match? Like, damn, this match. And the crowd was dead for most of it. So Lynch mocked her early on and was like, come get me. Hit me. Hit me right here. And she was like screwing with her. Dupree acted like she might, but then but gave Lynch an arm drag. Lynch took over and hit multiple suplexes. Dupree countered a manhandle slam into a stunner at one point. Corey Graves kind of was shocked by that one. Dupree applied an ankle lock, and they said, oh, that's from her learnings of Master Gable. Lynch rolled out of it, though. This then led to Dupree doing an oddly timed cartwheel before booting Lynch in the corner. This didn't look good. Dupree then hit a flying crossbody and got a 2 off of it. Dupree hit a spin kick, although it didn't look good either. They traded cradles. It did not look good. Like Maxine tried to like roll back off of a cradle and she slipped. And then like Becky had to do one where she grabbed the ropes and almost was like Maxine like kind of sat up a little bit. So Becky almost fell off of her and then she had to grab it. And then the ref noticed that she grabbed it. So the ref stopped his count and everything. Lynch then eventually put her in the disarmor and she tapped out within moments. Yeah, this match was not good. Not good at all. Natty gets in the ring to check on her, and Becky just looks there and goes, boom, kicks her right in the face, knocks out Natty, and takes off with her belt. What'd you think?
This did not need to be a match. This is basically just making Maxine look dumb.
Like, Maxine has improved. You can tell from where she was before she started with Gable to where she is now. She's improved, sure, but she still just can't do much. And you know what? You know what the biggest problem is? Them cutting away these damn house shows. It's the same issue AEW had. Your less experienced wrestlers are not going to get better without reps, are not going to get better without time in the ring in front of actual crowds doing real matches. And when you're only working, hell, when's the last time Maxine even worked a match?
It's been a while.
And I'm not even talking about tag match.
I mean, I get the purpose of getting rid of those house shows so you can just give wrestlers like time off to like stuff, but
Right.
like,
But you also need reps. You need to be going out there and working regular so you're improving and learning. So she's been doing some main event stuff that I did not know about. She had a match on main event.
I mean, isn't that what main event show also should be for as well?
Yes. Like her and Natty teamed up on main event 2 weeks ago. And then the week before that, she took on Ivy Nile. So she's kind of been working main event. She's had a number of matches with Ivy Nile. She works Zoe Stark a couple of times. But it's like, when you're doing those, 2 house shows plus your Raw, yeah, not everyone's going to work Raw, but everyone that needs it is going to be working the house shows. And it's a good way for A, wrestlers to try things, and B, wrestlers to get reps in and get better. And then here's my, hey, coach, what did you think of my match? What was my good stuff? What was my bad stuff? What do I need to work on? When you're just doing 1 match a week or a month, maybe 2 matches a month, you can't really see what your weaknesses are because of the ring rust and all that. When you're not working a lot. And I've heard people, that's the AEW problem. Look at Private Party. No, not knocking Private Party, but look at Private Party. 6 years ago when they started with AEW, they were at this level. Now, 6 years later, they're still right here. I have not seen any sort of improvement. I've thought from the jump, they're both really good wrestlers, but I have not seen either of them improve and get better. And that's because they're not working enough. So, yeah, what you got to do, I guess, now. And for TKO, not doing the house shows, it's not about giving wrestlers time off. It's about spending less on road expenses. It's a Mark Shapiro business call.
I know the benefit for
yes,
for the house shows is the reps, and also like it gives fans that experience to really interact with wrestlers, because I know it's one of those shows. It's almost like it's almost like an indie. You can say something from the crowd, and the wrestlers can interact with the fans. It's almost like an indie.
But I mean, I've even heard the Young Bucks say it. Since they started in AEW, yes, they like not working so much, but they can sometimes feel it when they have like a month off and then they got to get back in the ring. They can feel, oh shit, I haven't bumped in a while. So like sometimes having those reps keeps your body in ring shape. And so you don't feel it as much when you're taking bump after bump after bump, especially the big bumps that guys like Nick Jackson are taking. So we're in the back, and Seth Rollins is there with his guys. This is the first we saw Seth on the whole show, too. I was like, whoa. I thought Seth wasn't going to be here, but okay. He was in a good mood because he thought they got everything taken care of, squared away. He doesn't have to deal with Punk and Knight. They're going to deal with each other, and then the Browns are going to take care of him. Rollins figured his job was done. I'm going to go get on a private jet and leave. And that's basically all that segment was. Nothing much to it. They basically wanted you to think Seth is gone and is not going to show up in the main event. Then we got this fucking fantastic Bayley video. Like, this video was so good. She said that she's been doing this for a very long time. I think she said she's been wrestling for like 13 years now. She said she wanted more. She felt like less. She felt like nothing. She was called a role model even before she called herself a role model. She wanted to be the person that people looked up to, people came to for advice, both backstage and on the other side of the barricade. But now she just wasn't feeling like herself. She was feeling by herself. That everything that led up to now has gotten her nowhere. She couldn't remember the last time that she felt proud of what she does in herself. And this may be her own fault. The camera then goes out of focus for a little bit. She acted like she had a headache, and then the screen goes black. And you can hear like a ha 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 ha, almost like a Naomi laugh. A little cackle. And I'm like, oh, is Bayley spiraling? Is Bayley going to go crazy? I would love Bayley and Naomi together as two psycho bitches. Crazies. I love this video. I thought this was great. What'd you think?
It was a pretty good video, but like I don't know if she like teams with Naomi per se. I feel like it's more so she'll probably just go heel and do something on her own.
Maybe, but the fact that she did the laugh just like Naomi does the laugh kind of had me thinking, ooh, is this something? Could that be something? And we know we know her and Naomi really good friends in real life. Just saying.
They are, but like I just don't want her to be like just a lackey to Naomi, though. That's the thing.
I don't think she would be a lackey. I think they would be an equal. Like if Naomi does defend that title against Stephanie Vicure Clash in Paris and she's not too injured, she's losing the goddamn belt. Like, there's no way Naomi's going to successfully defend over Stephanie Vicure. But I think she loses the belt. Her and Bayley form a tag team, and they go after the tag titles. And they're a legit team, not one over the other. We need more women's teams. And those two, I think, could have great chemistry together as a team.
Do you know what I think is funny?
Huh.
So, like, I remember when, like, Stephanie Vicure came into WWE, and, like, Julia came in first, then it was Stephanie Vicure.
Right.
People thought Julia was going to be the much bigger star because she's been, like, more well-known than, like, Stephanie. And now, both of them are on the main roster. Now Stephanie's more well-known than Julia.
Because of Booker. All because of Booker T. Like a Booker.
Julia, I keep forgetting Julia's the Women's United States champion.
Yeah, and she's got herself a quote-unquote lawyer manager. Well, yeah, kind of like a lawyer, I guess.
This almost feels like Hideo Itami and Finn Balor almost.
Kinda. Both came from, another country. One was supposed to be bigger than the other. Well, what happened with it? Well, Julia never got hurt, though. That's the thing. It's kind of.
Well, she lost the belt because she needed time off because she needed to rest her body.
But it was the same thing. Hideo Itami was supposed to get the big push, come to the main roster, all that stuff, and then he got hurt. Like, he beat Finn Balor at WrestleMania 31 Access to be in the WrestleMania Battle Royal at WrestleMania 31, and then he did that big spot with the Big Show and all that kind of stuff, and that was supposed to be his big, oh, this guy's coming to the main roster, and he's going to be something. Then he got hurt. Then they're like, you know what? Finn. Now, here's the question. if that was really supposed to be, Hideo Itami getting the big push, you think he would have been the one to win the Universal title #1?
I don't know if Vince would have given him the same push that Finn got. I don't think that would have been the case.
I think it all depends on if he did, instead of Finn, got that big run with the NXT title or not. Because Finn's big run with the NXT title is what showed Vince, oh, this guy can lead a brand. This guy is a star. That's what opened everybody's eyes to Finn Balor.
Finn Balor's on my NXT Mount Rushmore.
Oh, actually, you want to talk about NXT Mount Rushmore? I was going to post this tomorrow. So I've been doing a thing with go for it. What were you going to say?
I saw like someone's NXT Mount Rushmore and they had Rhea Ripley on theirs.
So I asked Mike. So my thing is, I use Microsoft Copilot, and I said, "Who is the Mount Rushmore of NXT?" And this is who they gave me. I was gonna save this for tomorrow and post it on social media, but I'll show it to you guys now. This is who Microsoft Copilot told me was the Mount Rushmore of NXT: Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, Bayley, and Johnny Gargano.
I would replace Bayley with Asuka.
I think that's what I was thinking too.
I would keep everybody else the same.
But at the same time, Bayley was more mainstream-ish, I guess you could say, than Asuka was. She had a wider reach with the fan base. Asuka, for like just having cool matches for the hardcores and the long title reign and all of that, sure. But Bayley's reach with the fans and more than just the in-ring product is what I would think why. Well, hold on. I can tell you exactly its reasoning. Let me go to Copilot. It gives me a reason why they pick each one. Copilot said, I can clear right here. It says, Finn Balor, first ever 2-time NXT champion, helped globalize the brand. Sami Zayn, heart and soul of early NXT, delivered emotional classics. Bayley, pivotal in the women's evolution, iconic matches, and great character arc. Johnny Gargano, quote, Mr. NXT, with legendary feuds and match of the year contenders. Honorable mentions: Adam Cole for his dominant run and Undisputed Era leadership, Asuka for her undefeated streak, and Tommaso Ciampa for his brutal, brilliant rivalry with Johnny Gargano. That's their honorable mentions.
I mean, Ciampa is a good honorable mention. Same with Adam Cole.
I would maybe almost put Adam Cole over Sammy. Maybe. Because Adam Cole's run with the NXT title and the Undisputed Era stuff was just, for me, some of the best they've ever done in NXT.
It was, but like Sammy's early days really helped
Yes.
NXT to what it was.
Yes. Like when they did that first PLE style show and he fought Claudio or Cesaro, that was a great match. And then the Nakamura match, the Kevin Owens stuff.
That was his last match in NXT, was against Nakamura.
One of the greatest NXT matches of all time.
Then
some say it's the best NXT match ever. So
what do you think is the best NXT match ever personally?
Fuck, is that hard? I mean, that's one. It's that right there is either number 1 or number 2. But it's like, I guess I gotta say number 1 because I can't think of anything else. Like maybe, I don't know, because I would say the greatest moment in NXT history is Ciampa turning on Johnny and beating his ass. What was that, Chicago or something like that? Candace comes out and she gets all mad and like tries to stop him. That's the greatest moment in NXT history. When the first time Ciampa turned on Johnny. But I think that might be the greatest match because I can't think of anything that I would say was better.
You don't think Johnny versus Ciampa NXT TakeOver New Orleans in that unsanctioned match?
No, I think for what it was Nakamura's first match in WWE and the hype going into it and that little building that they were in on the second floor of where they did, like that, people don't realize this, that show was basically at Access, but on the second floor of that building. Yes, it was a ticketed show. You couldn't just get in with your access ticket, but it was a small, intimate little area of that building. They turned it into a wrestling venue. And it was like that crowd, everyone just looked on top of each other. It was just a whole thing. So yes, I think, my opinion, greatest NXT match of all time Sami Nakamura. Do what
I
Google
think Dave
says.
did Dave Meltzer give that match a 5-star match? I think it was 4.5.
Was it?
It was a 4.5 match.
Why can't I find Sami Zayn on Cage Match?
I mean, Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano when Johnny Gargano won the NXT championship. That was a pretty good match.
Another really good one was Andrade and Johnny for the NXT title.
Oh, that was amazing. That match was awesome.
That was a great match too. But let's see. Why won't it show me Sammy's star ratings? I can see. Anyways, we're getting way off topic, but no, like for me, I think the best matches, I think Sami and Nakamura, probably the Ciampa, Gargano Unsanctioned, and then Gargano Andrade are my top three.
You know what? What about the first ever War Games in NXT?
I mean, it was cool, but I wouldn't call it one of the greatest matches. I thought it was cool.
Or what about the North American Championship ladder match, the first ever one?
Oh, that was a great match. Well, now you also got a lot of people say that Bayley and Sasha Banks from Brooklyn was up there too. Like that was a great match. Like maybe I put that over Johnny and Andrade. Actually, no. Now that I think about it, maybe that's my number 2. Sami Nakamura number 1, Bayley Sasha number 2, and then Ciampa Gargano. Because I'm looking here on Bleacher Report. They have Ciampa Gargano as their 10th best NXT match. Let's see. I'm going to pull this up really fast. This is from Bleacher Report. I know we're getting way off topic, but we're basically almost done talking Raw. We just got the main event to recap really fast. This is from Bleacher Report. A couple years. When was this posted? This was posted in 2022. Let's see if you agree with any of these. They're top 10.
Oh, there's also a DIY versus the Revival, the 2 out of 3 falls match at TakeOver Toronto.
That was really good. I don't know if I would put that up towards the top, though. That's a top 10 match for sure. Let's see. Number 10, TakeOver Chicago, Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. Number 9, which I talked about this match, NXT Arrival, Sami Zayn and Cesaro.
Did Cesaro win that match?
I don't remember. I haven't seen that match in so long. Number 8, also from TakeOver Chicago, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. They have Sami and Nakamura at number 7. The frick? Okay. TakeOver Our Evolution. Oh, and Sami won the NXT Championship against Neville. Number 6.
That was a pretty good match as well.
TakeOver New Orleans, Johnny and Ciampa. There's your unsanctioned match. Number 4 from Brooklyn, Bayley and... Whoa, my screen just went black for a second. Bayley and Sasha Banks. Number 3, there's your DIY Revival tag match. And number 3... Number 2, Dragunov and Walter.
That was another really good match.
And their number 1 is Johnny and Andrade. Said that's one of the greatest NXT matches ever. And I've heard people say it's the greatest NXT championship match of all time. Like I've seen people say, as far as NXT title matches, that's the best one. Which I would agree. That's the best NXT title match.
Now Andrade lost it to Aleister Black.
Mm-hmm. But moving forward here, Io Sky, we get more Io. And she's walking through the back. Stephanie Vakir walks up and says, "You're not the only one who was promised a title match." So that's why I'm like, how long is freaking Naomi going to be gone for? Is she really going to be out for the rest of the month? And I think they were so quiet and minimal on their reasoning on why she's out because they may not know. Maybe something happened. The medical team looked her over and go, "Oh yeah, you're hurt. We got to get an MRI or an X-ray or something before we can determine anything." So hopefully It's not like a concussion, because in that you just don't know. But hopefully it's nothing serious and that she could still work. Now, here's the thing. If they say, oh, she's good to work Clash in Paris, but she's got to be out till Clash in Paris, is it still Stephanie and Naomi, or do they add Io in there and make it a triple threat? And then would that be too many triple threats this year?
You've already done way too many like women's triple threats. Just do Naomi versus Stephanie. Like, why are you gonna add Io to it? Like, what'd she do to earn it?
Here's what you can do. You can say, okay, Io was granted her rematch, 1-on-1. She's supposed to face Naomi, but Stephanie also earned the opportunity. So Stephanie gets the first match at Paris, but then the next night on Raw, the winner of Stephanie versus Naomi must defend against Io. You could do that.
But wait, was Io actually promised a rematch? That's the thing.
Tonight was supposed to be Io versus Naomi with a title on the line, but Naomi was not cleared to compete.
Okay, fine. Then maybe like the next night they can do like whoever wins gets Io on Raw.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Then fine, they can do that.
But moving forward, the main event, CM Punk versus Braun Breaker. Before we hear about that, send it to our sponsor really fast, AECOOLY. Does the summer heat got you sweating through your shirt before noon? Maybe it's time to chill with an AECOOLY handheld fan. This pocket-sized powerhouse is your secret weapon against scorching temps. Whether catching rays listening to music or just looking to get a great tan, it brings the breeze right when you need it. With 3-speed settings, a rechargeable battery that lasts up to 10 hours, and a whisper-quiet motor, the AECOOLY fan delivers cool comfort without the buzz or bulk. Toss it in your bag, clip it to your desk, or have it right by your side at all times. It's compact, stylish, and oh so convenient. So why melt when you can breeze through summer? Use our link in the description below, scan the QR code on the screen, or head over to pwunlimited.co/AECOOLY. That's AECOOLY now for coolin' in the palm of your hand. And we're back. As far as this main event does go, CM Punk and LA Knight versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Also, if you are watching on Twitch, the poll is now live for you guys to go vote. The baby faces were in control early on until the Brawns used a little bit of distraction to take over during a commercial break. Knight came back with a backbreaker, but Breaker knocked him over the announce table with a leaping clothesline off the apron that led to a second commercial break just about 9 minutes into this match. Knight at one point began crawling for the hot tag as Breaker stalked around the ring to go after CM Punk. Punk saw it coming, so Breaker backed off, but that meant Knight couldn't make the tag. The Bronze then gave Knight a Steinerizer, but Punk broke up the pin. Punk then made the hot tag and hit Breaker with a boot, clothesline, leg lariat, vertical suplex, and a lifting knee strike. Reed was about to go after Punk, but Knight intercepted him with the baseball slide. Punk then hit Breaker with a flying clothesline, an elbow drop, and the crowd got to their feet. Punk calls for the GTS, and well, boom, there's Seth attacking Punk, DQ finish. So yeah, I got another 2 weeks in a freaking row. You get a DQ finish on Raw. Not ideal.
But it's mainly just what happened after
right.
But at least this week it was like what happened after. Last week, not so much.
So it's 3-on-1. The Vision is beating down CM Punk and LA Knight. When Jey Uso would run out, get a chair in hand, he attacked Breaker in the aisle with said chair. Rollins then bailed before Reed swatted the chair away from Jey. Jey fought him off and knocked him out of the ring as well. Jey stood tall with Punk and Knight. When Adam Pearce would just come out, and I love the way Adam Pearce came out just so calm and nonchalant and tired of all the bullshit. And he's like, well, all right, you know what? People keep asking me, what are we going to do at Clash in Paris? What's the world title picture looking like? And Seth, we know who you're defending against. I am going to have you defend against Jey Uso. And Seth's like, huh? Like, he's a little confused. He's like, and LA Knight. And Seth gets this look on his face like, don't say it. Don't say it. And he's like, and CM Punk in a fatal 4-way match. And that's official. Rollins loses his shit. CM Punk starts freaking out in the ring doing the warrior. Yeah! With the ropes. Punk's losing and going, oh yeah. Right? He's losing his mind. Like, oh yeah, I got me another fucking shot at the belt. But then Knight was less enthused. Started arguing with CM Punk. Knight shoved Punk, so Punk tackled him. They brawled until Jay pulled Knight off of Punk. So then Knight gave Jay a back elbow. Jay didn't even try to retaliate, though. Punk then set up Knight for the GTS, but was speared by Braun Breaker. Rollins and his crew then came back in and beat up all them dumb baby faces. Like they equaled it out. They got the heels out of there, then they still got their asses beat. Breaker ran around the ring, speared LA Knight. Reed then gave Jay a tsunami, and I love when he does a tsunami, because yeah, his tsunami is nothing more than a Uso splash. But when he does the thing with the arms where it's like, it just makes it look so much more devastating. When he's over there, oh, it works. His little arms yeah. Anyways, Reed then also, before that, gave Jay a Death Valley driver. Rollins then stomped Knight, re-entered the ring, and stomped Jay. Rollins then held down Punk as Rollins taunted him. Rollins stomped Punk and held the belt up high over his head as the show went off the air. What do you think of all this afterwards? Are they stupid baby faces or what?
There's still baby faces. I think LA Knight's thing is I'm pissed off that like.
Well, no. I didn't say are they still baby faces. I said are they stupid baby faces for running off the heels and then still getting their asses beat afterwards? Are they dumb?
They're stupid. They're stupid, yeah, but they're stupid baby. I mean, they're still baby faces, but they're stupid baby faces because like LA Knight's whole thing is like, I'm pissed off that Punk keeps getting in the way of like me trying to get to Rollins, so I'm gonna attack him for it. But like, they're still baby faces, but they're stupid baby faces.
Yes. So no Roman on the show tonight. Roman is set for next week's show, and I think the week after. So Roman's going to be on the next two shows to build up to Paris, and we'll see where that goes. Again, I still think it is Bronson Reed versus Roman Reigns. Yeah, that, ladies and gentlemen, was Monday Night Raw. Our thoughts on the show. Now we want to hear what you guys thought. We're going to go check these polls really quickly. We'll refresh. No, I don't want to create I don't want to create a Twitter Spaces. Click the wrong button. As far as these polls do go, Threads poll, 50% liked the show, 28% didn't like the show, and 22% thought it was just all right. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 42% liked the show, 38% liked the show, and 19% thought it was just all right. Not as many people liking this show as normal. There we go. On YouTube community poll, 67% liked the show, 22% thought it was just all right, and 11% didn't like it. Looking at the live poll, 78% liked the show, 12% thought it was just all right, and 10% didn't like it. And finally, over on Twitch, 80% liked it, 20% thought it was just all right. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. This morning, we did have a new episode of the Wrestling Wrap Up. I talked about Karrion Kross and Scarlett, talked about the new UFC deal with Paramount, talked about Tahuti Miles, the former Shanti the Adonis, being gone from WWE. And in case you missed that, you can rewatch that show right here on YouTube or listen to it on all podcast services around the globe. But Luke, tell me where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21, and you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week. And I'll be back live on Wednesday with AEW Dynamite. Have a good one, guys. All right, if you're still watching live on Twitch, we're going to send you over to Evil Uno. He's doing a 24-hour stream